I'm extremely excited for the preliminary women's fight. We have a high-level grappler in Kelly McKay against a bare-knuckle brawler in Jessica Link, and I am so excited, and I think it's going to kick off this card amazingly.
It's going to be a tremendous clash of styles there, but right now, let's get to the action and kick it to the man in black, the voice of A1 Combat, Garrett Fertig.
And now, please welcome our first fighter this evening, Steve Mora.
Cage, and that is what Steve Maniac Mora told me he wants with this fight. He's gone the distance in 2 of his previous 3 fights, but unfortunately has come up short, so he wants to make a statement tonight to validate the work he's put in with this camp, and he plans on doing that by being the aggressor and following through on his promise to be a pressure fighter. And Corey, this is his 3rd trip to the cage for A1 Combat, 1-1 thus far, and was victorious, though, at A1 Combat 9 via guillotine submission. Big night for Mora.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's coming out here with a point to prove. Last time out, he lost to James Guidry, or at least last time at A1. Sorry, my bad. I know he's had a fight since. But, you know, Guidry is a very high-level, skilled opponent, undefeated up until we saw him last time out against Billy Brand. So, a true testament to the opposition that Steve Mora is facing in here. And I think he's going to make a statement here tonight. You know, both of his wins have come by finish, so I'm excited to see him come out here and try to seal the deal in an exciting fashion.
Absolutely. Mora weighed in yesterday, 135.7, standing at 5'8". Driven by his family, prides himself on never taking time off from conditioning, and it certainly shows as he fought 4 times in 2023.
Ready now, Cool Joe Lee.
You know, Corey, some fighters, they have plenty to say at all times, but not Cool Joe Lee. When I asked what his game plan was, he stated, just win. So then when I followed up and said, well, what's your predominant style? He said, just win. So then when we asked what his prediction for the fight was, Corey, what do you think he said?
Just win.
That's exactly what it was. Cool Joe Lee is a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, also has a background in Taekwondo, coming in 2-2 as a pro. Weighed in yesterday at 135.9, and like we talked about at the outset, this is such a massive platform for both of these fighters.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that I did note looking at Cool Joe Lee's record, you know, at amateur, he did in fact fight ex-champion, now UFC superstar Peyton Talbot, and he also a pro for Kaldar, who we've seen on A1 multiple times, who also was in against Talbot. So just a testament to the level both of these guys have fought here, and I think we're going to look at a very exciting and experienced fight despite the records on both of these guys here tonight.
No question. We're also going to see Peyton Talbot on the main card. He will be cornering St. John Smith for his fight. Going to be a very exciting night of action. Let's get these prelims underway. As we check out the tail of the tape, 2-inch height advantage for the Maniac Steve Mora, weight almost identical, slight experience advantage for Mora. Joe Lee coming in 36 years of age and Mora at 32 years of age. And right now, we will kick it to Garrett Fertig for the announcements.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Uriah Faber's A1 Combat 17, streaming live on A1 Combat's YouTube channel. From the Union Ballroom, we got our prelims underway with 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing first, the blue corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 135.7 pounds, 1-1 at A1 Combat 2 and 4 overall. Representing Rounders MMA and boxing from Coachella Valley, by way of Santa Ana, California, Steve the Maniac Mora. And now introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 135.9 pounds, returning to A1, holding a professional record of 2 wins, 2 losses, representing MMA Gold from Sacramento, California, Cool Joe Your referee, David Shirley.
David Shirley will be the official in this fight. And we're underway. Prelims for A1 Combat 17 live from Sacramento State, California. Ooh. Snappy leg kick early on there from Mora, and once again.
So as you said, obviously we didn't get much by way of speaking from a Cool Joe Lee,
No.
but one thing I did note is Steve.
Nice
oh,
takedown.
Nice, beautiful. I did note that Cool Joe has 2 losses by submission, whereas Steve Mora has a 50% submission wins at amateur and also 1 win by sub at pro and 1 win by ground and pound at pro. So I was going to say that that would allude to the fact that Mora perhaps wants to take to the ground, but we see Joseph Lee taking it down there himself right now. Beautiful job from Mora to work up from bottom there. He's in the turtle position, needs to be a little bit careful. I like that Joseph Lee is doing damage down here, you know. He's moving, he's controlling, he's following Mora, but he's doing a great job of finding pockets and openings to land some damaging strikes early in this round.
This is certainly an aggressive takedown by Cool Joe Lee. Training at MMA Gold, whereas Steve Mora at Rounders, MMA and boxing, and now...
Beautiful head positioning here from Joseph Lee. You know, every time Mora starts hip escaping out, trying to escape, he's getting his head down there, he's following the hips, he's doing everything correct fundamentally to control Mora in these positions. And we're only a minute and a half into this round right now, and this is a very controlling first half of the round for Lee. Sorry, very dominant ground pound there. Ooh.
Mora able to fight back to his feet, but back down they go.
Beautiful knee from Mora there. Unfortunately, did give Lee the takedown, but I think that might have hurt Lee a little bit. That was a solid knee that landed right there.
Ooh, nice right hand, and another. Some phone booth action here, and it looks like, oh, Mora's already busted open.
Mora's in on that guillotine, but I'm not quite sure how deep it is from this vantage point. He needs to be careful, because that did give Lee the takedown, which is a position that he has been losing for this first 2 minutes of this fight. I think Lee's out here. There we go.
Certainly is.
Great job from Mora there to get the underhook, work back up to his feet. Lee is relentless with this takedown, though. I'm loving the chain wrestling, switching from single to double. Beautiful.
Another takedown. Give that 3 for 3 thus far in takedowns for Lee.
Mora's doing a great job. He's doing everything right. Like, you know, he's digging his underhooks, he's working up. He almost had the back there of Lee, but I just feel like Lee's 1 step ahead, maybe because he's being so aggressive and insistent on these takedowns, so he's kind of controlling and dictating where this fight goes, but I'm loving the pressure here.
Yeah, thus far, we're definitely seeing the jiu-jitsu skills on display by Joe Lee. Steve Mora listening to advice from his corner. Back to his feet once again. Oh, another single leg.
Lee needs to be careful leaving his neck in on these positions because Mora is jumping those guillotines.
Right.
But on the same hand, you know, Mora's doing a great job of getting out of these. Sorry, Mora is doing a great job of getting up, but Lee's doing a great job of passing to the right side, circling his head in on these guillotines. And I think Mora's giving up these takedown positions by trying to jump on those submissions so early in this fight.
Lee also landed a couple of right hands there up against the cage. Now once again going for another single leg. Oh, wait a minute!
Beautiful back take there from Mora.
Great transition by Mora.
And here's where we see that slick grappling game come into play. I think that's under the neck.
Oh, that is locked in, Corey.
Great job from Lee fighting the hands, but
doesn't quite have the full grip.
He's out. That was beautiful scrambling there from Mora. I love that back take. He still has control here. You know, he hasn't got the choke locked in, but this is an uncomfortable position for Lee. He's face cranking, he's making that miserable, and this is a great way to swing the end of this round. Unfortunately, I don't think it'd be enough for them to win the round, but great way to turn the tables here.
Certainly a way to exhaust Lee with 45 seconds still to go in the first round, and Lee able to fight his way out. This has been a non-stop first round here between Steve Mora and Joe Lee.
Yeah, I'm loving the relentless pressure from both guys here. You know, neither guy has slowed down. Yeah, it's amazing. It's been a great first round to open up the card here tonight. Beautiful control from Mora.
And you mentioned, you know, being in the cage with someone like Peyton Talbot. Imagine what a learning experience that must have been, even coming up short.
Yeah, exactly. And that's got to give you confidence coming in here. You know, you've already seen the top level of this sport. Ooh.
Waning seconds of the first round. Once again, trying to lock into RNC. Doesn't quite have the full grip, but a strong flurry by Steve Mora to end this first round.
That was a very dominant round for Joseph Lee right there. And, you know, hats off to Steve Mora for staying calm, staying composed, and still taking advantage of that opportunity there to take the back and start hunting that submission. Just goes to show, you know, no matter how dominant the round, you don't count him out.
So in your eyes, you would give that first round to Joe Lee in control for most of the first round, with the exception of the final 90 seconds.
Yeah, I definitely would give that to Joseph Lee. I think Mora did a great job of, you know, turning the tables a little bit, switching it on and taking the back of Lee at the end there. But I think Lee wins that round just purely on the, you know, the dominant pressure, control. He did a lot of damage, so, you know, in the short time that he was, you know, he has been in there. He's done a lot of, like, hard shots. Very great, great performance from both guys so far.
Lee did land a number of impressive strikes, but Mora with a great transition in the final 90 seconds of the first round. The first of our 9 fights total tonight, 3 prelims, 6 on the main card. Headlined by an electric flyweight bout. A lot of incredible bantamweight and flyweight action tonight.
Joseph Lee straight out in this round, holding the center, very confident in his demeanor. You know, a lot of deep breaths from Mora in his corner. But one thing I want to point out for the crowd back home, you know, you can't always tell, but these wrestling positions, they are grinding, they wear you down, and that's really going to, you know, play a huge factor in coming into this round, is which guy has the best conditioning for these positions.
Absolutely.
Oh, beautiful body kick.
Good combination.
Those are some heavy kicks from Joseph Lee right there.
Lee landing a left hook as well.
Oh,
wow.
Beautiful backhand there from Mora, and a slip.
Look out.
Ah.
Joe Lee wasting no time.
Beautiful job there for Lee to capitalize on that. You know, it's unfortunate that Mora slipped, but, you know, he did a great job to follow that, to capitalize. And I feel like Lee was having great success on the feet, to be honest. I feel like Mora was a little bit behind speed-wise, but he did tag him with a powerful overhand. So I think this is probably where Joseph Lee wants to be right here.
Mm-hmm. So if you are Mora in half guard, what are you trying to do in this situation?
You know, as Mora, you want to be getting over to your right side, working your left underhook, which I believe he got now.
Now, if you're Lee, would you want to go for a technical mount here while you... Oh, nope.
I personally am not actually a fan of mount. I feel like, you know, there's minimal control. Guys have the ability to buck and get up. Beautiful job there from Mora. Really impressed with that get up right there.
Yeah, Mora's done a tremendous job getting back to his feet thus far.
I like the movement of Mora. You know, he's moving his head, he's moving his feet. His strikes are a little bit slower than Lee, so I do feel like, you know, maybe he has a speed disadvantage, but I do like that he's staying moving, whereas, you know, Lee's kind of... Oh, Lee's tagging him now. Sorry, spoke too soon.
A lot of power behind his right hand.
Oof.
Almost halfway through round 2. Opening prelim bout for A1 Combat 17, live on YouTube. 7 p.m. Pacific, we go live on UFC Fight Pass. And
I like the fakes and feints that Mora is starting to implement here. You know, he's doing some like teep feints, lifting his knee and stuff. And I think that will help him a little bit, especially with the takedown attempts of Joe Lee. You know, give him something to think about before lunging in.
You can see Mora trying to set up with his jab, landing a couple here.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 very different striking styles. You know, I feel like Lee's being a little bit more counter-striking, but he is loading up and hitting him with some bombs. Beautiful single leg entry there. As I touched upon earlier, you know, Mora's kind of giving these takedowns up by jumping on that neck, and I understand that it's enticing. The head's there. Obviously, we want to finish these fights, but you know, Lee is very intelligent in these positions. You know, he's getting to the right side, he's fighting the hands. He is aware that he's in danger. And I just feel like Moore is maybe just giving up the rounds a little bit too much by jumping on these positions.
Lee trying to make the pass here. And
Beautiful butterfly hook attempt there from Mora. Lee did a great job following the hips. He's now in butterfly. I'm really impressed with the grappling technique that's on display here from these guys tonight.
For the most part, much like in round one, Joseph Lee has been successful in taking this fight to the mat.
Moore is starting to look for some damage here on bottom and close guard. I'd like to see him hip escape, start working his back to the cage, work up to his feet, maybe even engage on some of his own grappling exchanges. You know, I think he had a lot of success when he got on the back of Lee. So maybe if, you know, if obviously his corner's going to go in there and tell him what to do in 40 seconds, but if we could see him engage, I think maybe we could see a little bit of a different tale going into the third round.
Oh,
Moore
back to his feet.
Beautiful job from Mora covering the head there. Beautiful spin transition. And he's back on the back. He's under the neck. This might be it. He has it locked.
Much like at the end of round one, Mora able to transition and take the back of Joe Lee.
He's out.
Final 12 seconds. And he tapped.
Oh, he's out.
Oh, he's out. What a transition, Steve Mora. Locking in the rear naked choke in the final 15 seconds of round two.
That was a beautiful execution there for Steve Mora. You know, he does a great job at jumping on the back and capitalizing on that position. You know, we saw it at the end of round one, got it at round two, finished the job. Obviously, shame for Joseph Lee, not the result he wanted here tonight. But he also had a very impressive performance here. You know, the first round was very dominant, some beautiful grappling exchanges from both guys, and I think both guys can have their head up high tonight. Oh,
very entertaining fight, but Corey, you know, Joe Lee was essentially in control on the ground for most of these first two rounds, but like you said, Joseph Lee was putting himself in susceptible positions at times, and Mora was able to make that quick transition and finally lock in the RNC, and that was curtains.
Yeah, like you say, I was very impressed with this fight. I think this is a great fight to open up the card here tonight. And, you know, I think we see a very decisive thing for Lee to go away and work on. But I also think he looked amazing there. You know, he had some great exchanges. His wrestling was dominant. And, yeah, it's a shame that this is how the fight ended. But, you know, hats off to Steve Moore. A beautiful performance and a great... You know, great composure. Many people would be overwhelmed in this position.
It's a difficult angle for us to see there, but...
He had the arm trapped, so, you know, Lee couldn't fight the hands with both hands. And he sunk that in the second he jumped on the back. You could just see the confidence in that position. That's clearly something that Mora practices regularly at the gym. You know, it's clearly something that he's very comfortable, very a position that he enjoys. So, you know, he did a great job at jumping that, capitalizing on that opportunity, and yeah, an amazing performance here tonight for him.
Certainly a moment of celebration for everyone at Rounders, MMA, and boxing. For Steve Mora, moving to 3-4 as a pro with his second submission victory, and you did see the tap there by Cool Joe Lee with 12 seconds remaining in the second round. And now, let's go to Garrett Fertig to make it official.
The rear naked choke brings on the finish. Official time, 4 minutes, 48 seconds of round number two. Declaring a winner by technical submission, Steve the Maniac Mora.
Well, both of these fighters came tonight looking for validation. They both certainly achieved it. But Steve Mora said he was here for his family. They were with him in tow, and they all leave very, very happy tonight as Mora moves to 2-1 in A1 combat competition, 3-4 overall as a pro. And that is just the first of our 3 preliminary bouts tonight. Coming up next, Corey, this is going to be exciting. Kelly McKay, Jessica Link, a flyweight battle. Cannot wait for that one.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited for that fight tonight. You know, Kelly McKay making her pro debut. She was undefeated as an amateur. You know, she was the state champ. We've got Jessica Link. She is 0-1 as a pro, but she has had so much experience. She's fought I saw bare knuckle MMA, bare knuckle boxing. boxing. You know, she's experienced all around, and I think she's going to be an absolute brawler in here tonight, which I'm not sure Kelly McKay has seen, and Link seems to think so also.
It's going to be physical. We'll be right back. All right, we are back for fight number 2 of the prelims for A1 Combat 17. Let's go to the voice of A1 Combat, Garrett Fertig.
Set now to make her way, Jessica Lee.
If you're looking for a breath of fresh air, then have a conversation with Jessica Link. She told me earlier today, I fight because it's fun, which explains perfectly why she has competed in boxing, bare knuckle, and kickboxing, not to mention she's about to enter the A1 Combat cage. There is not a challenge that the BJJ blue belt backs down from, especially at this point in her life. Jessica Link stated to me, look, I started fighting late in life at 26, and now I'm 35. I just want to take advantage of every opportunity that I'm given. Link fights like she's playing with house money, and that makes her incredibly fun to watch. She's the first and only Kansas athlete to compete in bare knuckle. And in this camp, she focused on wall work and patience and said she's used to being the underdog. She doesn't feel nearly as much pressure as she did earlier in her career. So it's all about composure when it comes to Jessica Link. She told me flat out, I am very composed. It's one of my biggest virtues. And quite a resume, too. 2 fights thus far with BKFC, 3 with BYB Extreme, and was the staff pick for 2023 Fight of the Year by BYB Extreme. And she's also being cornered by BKFC rising star Isaac, the Honey Badger Doolittle. But let's go to Garrett Fertig for her opponent.
Introducing her opponent, Kelly McKay.
Look into the eyes of Kelly McKay, you see nothing but focus. She lives by the phrase, the most reliable way to predict the future is to create it. She trains every day without fail, so in her eyes, she's always in camp, she's always ready, and she's about to make her professional debut. 6-0 as an amateur, with most of those wins coming via strikes. In her last amateur fight, she won a championship in Utah at strawweight, but she also decided that would be her last fight at 115. She's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, but was also an athlete growing up, competing in wrestling and lacrosse. And Corey, this is a very dangerous young woman at 23 years old.
Yeah, definitely. I've actually had the pleasure of training with Kelly McKay myself. She is a very strong grappler. I haven't seen her striking. You know, Link seems to think that she hasn't been tested on the feet as much as she has, but I'm really excited to see what Kelly brings to the cage here tonight, and I'm very excited for this prospect.
She moved from Reno to Sacramento 6 months ago to pursue fighting full-time. As we check out the tail of the tape, obvious difference in age there. Records, you know, Kelly McKay making her professional debut. Jessica Link 0-1 as an MMA professional. 4-inch height advantage for Link, and weight coming in identical. Definite contrast of styles here as we go to Garrett Fertig for the announcements.
A1 Combat continues our prelims in the flyweight division. Set for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first the blue corner. At 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 125.5 pounds. 0-1 early in her professional career, making her A1 Combat debut, representing 316 martial arts from Wichita, Kansas, Jessica Link. And now we introduce her opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, also weighing 125.5 pounds, undefeated as an amateur, 5-0 with 4 finishes. Tonight she makes her professional debut, representing MMA Gold from Reno, Nevada, Kelly McKay. Your referee, Mike Beltran.
We have a few legends officiating tonight. Mike Beltran in there right now. Herb Dean will be joining us as well.
All right, ladies, first round. Ready, fight. Ready, fight. Head up, let's go.
And we are underway. Kelly McKay training out of MMA Gold and Underground Lab. Jessica Link out of 316 Martial Arts, owned by David the Caveman Rickles.
Southpaw stance from Link coming out here tonight. Beautiful job from Kelly to split down the middle there. She's holding the center, and she looks very calm and composed here, given that it's her pro debut. I'm liking the feints and fakes.
One thing you could say about Link, she has cinder blocks for hands. And if you are Jessica Link, are you trying to keep this fight vertical?
I haven't seen too much from Link in terms of grappling, so I would say on paper, yes, but aggression from Kelly McKay coming out here right now in the first round.
McKay just charge it in, taking control there, and looking to make an impact in her pro debut.
Definitely. Very aggressive combos being fired right there, and beautiful job getting in on this body lock. Head positioning right there against Link, and it's a very controlling position here from McKay. Link needs to start working her underhooks, turning her off the cage, and breaking, because I definitely feel like she's wanted to keep it on the feet from what she said here tonight.
McKay keeping things very tight, not giving a lot of leeway there for Link. Now, Jessica Link did say her conditioning is the best it's ever been. She's been training with fighters 10, 15 years younger than her, but she has admittedly struggled in the past against grapplers. Once against a Division I wrestler, also against a BJJ brown belt. So she's really been working on her wrestling coming into this fight.
Kelly's doing a great job here of controlling Link against the cage. I'd like to see her get that head positioning back in, drop her head down below Link. As I say it, she does it. She's doing a great job controlling here. I'd like to see Link stop hanging out on that wizard, start digging her underhooks, turning Kelly off the cage, trying to break it back to the center. But Kelly is very strong in these positions, and you can see that right here from how she's, controlling her against the cage. Beautiful positional awareness from Kelly. They broke, she nearly got turned, and she turned Link straight back, so her back's on the cage. And it may not be the most exciting strategy going into a fight, but I personally like this style of fight, and it's very grindy. It wears down your opponent. you know, and she's doing a great job of setting herself up for the later rounds by controlling her here. Yeah, she's being very intelligent. It's her pro debut. She's very composed. She's controlling this round. She's winning this round. Yeah, she's doing a great job of being positionally aware and controlling Link.
Undefeated amateur record. Most of her wins coming via knockout.
One thing I liked about Kelly is she said that playing your game instead of theirs is the only way. She doesn't care what Link's bringing into the cage here tonight. She's been focusing on herself. She's been trying to round out her skills. And she says that she's going to go out there and she's going to perform how she knows she can perform. And she says that her and her coaches leave no stone unturned. And at the end of the day, no matter what happens, she knows she's done her best. And I really like that approach coming in here tonight.
McKay also landed some knee strikes here up against the cage as well. And down goes Link. Beautiful takedown there by McKay.
Beautiful takedown straight past those legs for Kelly. And, you know, this is her, you know, where she thrives down here. So Link needs to be very calm, very safe. But, yeah, great job for Kelly to get straight past those legs. 1.5 minutes left to work here. That's plenty of time. But also, you know, Link's not in too much danger right now. I'd like to see her start hip escaping, trying to clear those legs, trying to work back up to her feet. One thing she did mention is she's actually got her significant other in her corner, Isaac Doolittle, a top 5 ranked bare knuckle FC fighter.
He is a monster, that's for sure. Like I said, cinder blocks for hands. Jessica Link can knock out any woman, but right now Kelly McKay's really been spending much of this round in control time, now landing a couple of right hands as well, and Jessica Link really struggling to get out here. Final minute.
Yeah, and one thing Jessica did say, she said this is the first time in 2 years that she's been in an MMA camp. She's been training purely striking. So
this is right where McKay wants to have Jessica Link, and now she can move into some ground and pound here.
Those are some strong elbows there from Kelly, and this is great because at the end of the day, she's so comfortable here that she's not worried about Link reversing her or anything. She's so confident in these positions that she can land these heavy strikes because she's so comfortable with her grappling.
And McKay has moved so high into that dominating mount position right now. 15 seconds. Can Link survive here in the first round?
Hats off to Link, though. She's still moving. She's kicking off the fence. She's trying to escape. Some people would be a little startled by those heavy elbows, but she's doing a great job of staying composed, trying to get out of these positions. And we're about to see the start of a second round where she gets to start on her feet, which is what she wanted to do here.
Well, Jessica Link prides herself on being composed in any situation, but Kelly McKay dominating in that first round.
Yeah, dominant first round there for Kelly McKay. Very impressive. You know, it's her pro debut. Not seeing much jitters in there. You know, often people talk about those first fight jitters, you know, you're making your pro debut, there's a lot of pressure, but she seems very calm and composed going in there, and I'll be interested to see what strategy Link's corner are about to give to her, you know, how to change things up for this second round.
This is the first of 2 women's fights we're going to see tonight on the main card. Very exciting that we're going to see Killjoy, Joy Pendel, taking on Jay Robledo. Also, definite contrast there. That's going to be a lot of fun on the main card. But right now, we're entering round 2 of this 3-round flyweight bout. Kelly McKay, Jessica Link.
Definitely very different demeanors coming into this second round. You know, Link's looking a little disheartened, taking some deep breaths. But McKay is staring her down across that cage, looking very focused.
McKay didn't need a break in between the rounds, I don't believe.
No, she was ready to go.
Now, if you're Link, you have to believe starting this round off, just like the first round, Kelly McKay charging in, and unfortunately for Link, unable to evade.
Yeah, and this goes back to what I said earlier. You know, Kelly's doing a great job. She's not respecting Link's striking. You know, she's implementing her game plan, which is to engage in these grappling exchanges, be aggressive, and she's doing a great job of forcing that here right now.
Link with a 4-inch height advantage, but McKay just showing incredible power and core strength thus far. Another
thing that McKay did say, she said the only way that's reliable to predict the future is to create it, and I feel like so far she's doing a great job of creating that future that she wants. You know, she's being very dominant, she's being insistent on this takedown, and I'm not seeing the right answers from Link here.
And you know what it's like to make your professional debut. Oh, beautiful takedown once again. This is almost a replay of the first round here. 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, a lot more time to work here now for Kelly, which, you know, it's not ideal for Link, but it's great for Kelly McKay. You know, she's got just under 4 minutes to work here. That's nearly a whole round. And, you know, she was getting some very dominant strikes off towards the end. A lot of great control at the end of the first round. So plenty of time for her to set up something devastating here right now.
Thus far, certainly looks like Kelly McKay was more than ready for her pro debut. Go back to yours. What were the jitters like? How did you know that you were ready to step in as a pro?
Yeah, I actually, you know, I went pro at 18. I was undefeated as an amateur. I had already won a couple of titles at different weight classes, and I kind of had already fought everyone that there is to fight. And I feel like Kelly McKay's kind of in the same position here. You know, she's undefeated as an amateur. She held the state title, and I feel like she probably was also at the point where she's like, oh, I need to step up and get the opposition that can test me and also push me to the higher levels that you want to achieve. So I feel like probably in the same boat. I was meant to make my pro debut a lot earlier, suffered an injury, but I think once the time was right, the time was right. You know, that's the thing with MMA. You got to trust your coaches, and Kelly McKay has a great corner behind her in Jim West and her other teammates.
That could be it, yes.
Beautiful. I believe that was a DOS
it was difficult to see from our angle, but it looked like it was only a matter of time before Jessica Link had to tap out. And what a dominant professional debut for Kelly McKay. Corey, I don't think McKay could have written that up any better than what she just did in that cage.
No, Kelly McKay went out there, she did exactly what she said. She implemented her game. She had a complete disregard for Link's, you know, her plan. And she just went out there and put a stamp on it. And I don't think she could ask for a better pro debut in there tonight. She did absolutely amazing.
The future is certainly bright for Kelly McKay. You know, she won the championship in Utah at strawweight, but after that she said, you know what, I'm not fighting at 115. I want to be at 125. Good decision.
Yeah, Jim West said that she's a bit of an in-betweener, and you know, often fighters do find that they have a much better performance at the higher weight class because you're not depleting yourself so much. And I think she looked strong in there. She looked dominant. You know, her gas tank held up well in those grueling grappling exchanges. And yeah, I definitely think she's found a home at 125 here, and I think she's put the division on watch.
And also, what a great move it was to come to Northern California. This is a hub of incredible gyms, incredible fighters. For someone like her, only 23 years young, she's going to become that much better by moving to this area.
Yeah, exactly. She's training at MMA Gold. You know, we've got Kat there that also has fought at A1. You know, she's training with multiple girls there, which I feel like getting those girls looks is very, very important for the women's MMA. But yeah, it's like great performance here tonight from Kelly McKay.
With that said, let's make it official with Garrett Fertig.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2 minutes 18 seconds of round number 2, the submission comes via mounted Darce for your winner, Kelly McKay.
And the record remains unblemished, 6-0 in her dominant amateur career, and now winning her professional debut. Congratulations to Kelly McKay and her entire team. With that said, we have one more preliminary fight left. Flyweight action, we're about to see Houston Skivek and Alan Selhanek before we move to the main card at 7 p.m. Pacific, live on UFC Fight Pass. And while we have a couple of seconds here, if you're looking for a new snack while you're enjoying all the action, simple. Go to kudosnacks.com. The most delicious popcorn. On top of that, it is healthy. 10 grams of whey protein isolate in each bag. Find them online once again, kudosnacks.com. Find them on Amazon. Free shipping for Prime members. You cannot go wrong with Kudo Snacks. Also, thank you to Cap City Honda. View their entire inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles at capcityhonda.com. And Perfect Union Dispensary. Order online at perfectunion.com. Show the A1 Combat event ticket, and guess what? You're going to get a voucher for one shake. That penny pre-roll. I don't know what dispensaries are. I've never been to one, but it sounds like a great thing to have.
Yeah, I haven't been to one myself. It's not something that I partake in, but it sounds like a great deal for everybody back home.
Absolutely. Shake that penny pre-roll from Perfect Union Northside, perfect-union.com. And with that said, it's now time for prelim fight number 3. Garrett Fertig, take it away.
And now, set to make his way, Alan Selhanek.
There is no moment in a fighter's life like making their professional debut. We just saw it with Kelly McKay, and we're about to see it now with Alan Sohanek. Every ounce of effort, every victory, every setback, every experience along the way culminates to the moment you enter the cage for the first time as a pro. This is that moment for Sohanek. An impressive 5-1 record as an amateur with 2 knockouts, 1 submission victory, including at A1 Combat 5. He's been waiting almost a full calendar year for this opportunity. So Corey, for Sohanek, this is such a massive moment. What advice would you have to just kind of maintain his composure in a moment like this?
Yeah, I mean, he's training at a great camp. He's with Ant-Dogs MMA. He trains with Anthony Figueroa, who we will see at Tachi Palace for the A1 lightweight title. So he's got a lot of great, very experienced guys behind him. And I'm sure that their game plan, they're ready coming in here. You know, layoffs suck. I've had quite a few myself, but I'm sure he's prepared everything that he needs to in his camp, and I think he's just going to come out here, stay calm, stay composed, and implement the game plan. He's 5-1 as an amateur. It's his pro debut, but he has experience behind him, and I'm sure he can lean on that here tonight.
2 knockouts, 1 submission in those 5 victories as we await his opponent.
Ready now, Houston Skipak.
He calls himself the Problem, and problems he has caused for all 7 of his opponents throughout his amateur career. He makes his professional and A1 combat debut tonight after an undefeated 7-0 record as an amateur with 3 submission victories. Prides himself on having variety in his arsenal, but considering he was a JUCO state finalist in wrestling, California state champion, and current blue belt in BJJ, Corey, would you say his best game plan is to shoot right in, get Sohanek on the mat?
I mean, on paper, I think so, but, you know, this kid's got skill. He's, like you say, he's 7-0, he's undefeated. He says his strategy is pressure, aggression, and variety, so I would like to see him come in here and mix it up here tonight, but I'm really excited to see what he brings to the cage. When asked about his camp, he said same as usual, and, you know, can't fault him. If it's not broken, don't fix it. He's undefeated, and let's see if he can carry this into his pro debut here tonight.
His inspiration in mixed martial arts, Chuck Liddell and Forrest Griffin. So to say he studied the greats, that's a bit of an understatement. As Houston Skipak enters the cage, what a moment this is. 2 fighters making their professional debut, tail of the tape. Sohanek at 31, Skipak at 26. 1-inch height advantage for Skipak, and almost a full pound weight advantage for Skipak as well, as we go to Garrett Fertig for the announcements.
A1 Combat now concludes the prelims with our featured bout as we stay in the flyweight division, set for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first, the blue corner. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing 124.6 pounds, returning to A1 Combat, making his professional debut, representing Ant-Dogs MMA from Gilroy, California, Alan Maniac Sohanek. Now introducing his opponent, fighting across the cage in the red corner. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 125.3 pounds, undefeated as an amateur at 7-0 with 3 submission finishes, making his professional and A1 Combat debut, representing Nobody MMA and trained for life from Swoosin City, California, Houston, the Problem Skipak. Referee Herb D.
The great Herb Dean officiating this flyweight clash, and you know, Houston Skipak says he feels that his style matches up very well with Sohanek. He's predicting a first-round finish. That remains to be seen, but thus far, Skipak really controlling center, and thus far the aggressor. Oh, wow, look at Sohanek coming in with a combination.
I know Houston predicted some aggression, but, you know, Allen is firing off the bat here.
Skibek trying to land a number of body kicks, but he's leaving himself open a little bit. And once again, another combination by Sohanek. Precise strikes as well.
Those are some powerful strikes there from Sohanek. Yeah, I think we're going to lean back to what we mentioned in the walkout, and I think we need to see Skibek start shooting and engaging that wrestling, because he has taken some damage in under a minute of this round already.
Sohanek just teeing off here in the first minute. Oh.
Beautiful knowledge of his range there for Sohanek. You know, a very slight pull, and Skibek swung and a miss. Oh, beautiful knee up the middle. I'm really impressed with the striking here.
A tremendous variety in his striking as well. Oh, another right hand lands.
Definitely seeing a lot more comfort on the feet for Sohanek. You know, Skibek's a little jittery. He's moving, which is definitely necessary. You don't want to be standing punch bag, especially for a guy with power like Sohanek, but I would like to see him engage some of that grappling right now. He's already read it up, you know, he's marked up, and beautiful double leg attempt there.
Oh, Sohanek. Difficult angle here up against the cage.
Great fight IQ there for Skibek. You know, he did a great job coming around to the back, not freaking out when his neck got grabbed, and now he's on the back of Sohanek, and he's, you know, he's on the ground, which is where we discussed he should probably take it. So, great fight IQ there from Skibek.
Great job by Sohanek, briefly to get back to his feet.
Both guys relentless in all positions, you know, like Sohanek didn't accept those positions. He's working up to his feet. He's staying moving, which is absolutely correct. And Skibek's doing a great job of being relentless and following his hips, staying on top, hunting that back position. Very impressed with both guys here for a pro debut.
Incredible technique on the behalf of Skibek and Sohanek. Halfway through round one. Main card coming up, 7 p.m. UFC Fight Pass. Ooh.
Both guys relentless here. This is, what an amazing pace to start off this round. We're only halfway through. Skibek on the back now. Let's see if he can start setting up body triangle. Beautiful. This is a great controlling position for him, even just to take some recovery time from those big heavy shots that he took at the start of the round.
To Skibek's credit, he was not shaken by those early strikes, and now he's starting to settle in here with the fight that he's looking to have.
Yeah, exactly. He has 3 wins by submission already at amateur, and I'm sure he would be over the moon to get one here tonight for his pro debut. He's got plenty of time to work, just under 2 minutes. He's got that body triangle locked in, but, you know, Sohanek's doing a great job moving over to the side of the lock, trying to defend the legs. But great control from Skibek here.
Final 90 seconds of round one, and Skibek remaining in control of the back here, but like you said, Sohanek doing a great job of
great job from both guys here. Sohanek's doing a great job of trying to defend that lock, moving over to the side that the lock is on, fighting the feet. He's keeping his neck tight, he's defending, but this is Skibek's being relentless in this position, and this is going to wear him down also. You know, we're early in the fight. It's going to be a hard round to judge, you know?
It really will be. Sohanek definitely landing more strikes, but Skibek has, the last couple of minutes, been in control here.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what the judges are looking for. You know, we got the damage on one side and the control on the other, but very impressed with both guys coming in tonight, and also with the composure, you know? Sohanek's doing a great job of staying calm. He's doing everything right fundamentally, although Skibek is one step ahead of him and is doing a great job of following these positions and retaining the control.
Yeah, Skibek's just kind of rolling with Sohanek and not giving up control.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of following, and this just shows a lot of experience in those ground positions, despite being only a blue belt. He says his style matches well with his opponent, and right now I feel like he's implementing that style.
Final 10 seconds of this very competitive first round, as Skibek he's going to finish in plenty of control time here.
Beautiful first round. I don't know how the judges are going to score that, if I'm honest. You know, obviously from Sohanek, we saw the damage in the early rounds, we saw the aggression. But then, as we say, Houston came back, controlled the latter parts of the rounds, and may have stolen it, you know? Very impressed with both guys here for a pro debut, though. This is an amazing, phenomenal matchup from the A1 staff here.
Combat. You can also visit our website at
A1Combat.com.
preliminary
set of fights here, for sure. And you can see Skiback a little bit marked up, showing signs of damage from those powerful strikes from Solhanek. But, you know, to start off the second round, Corey, if you're Skiback, judging by the first round, you do not want to stay on the vertical. You want to get this fight to the mat immediately.
Yeah, like I say, we saw some very strong striking from Solhanek, but I think we're looking at a very clear path to victory for both guys here, you know. Solhanek definitely had the advantage on the feet. Skiback has the advantage on the ground, and I think it's just going to be a case of who can implement their game here tonight is going to come out with victor.
These two fighters, another great example of just incredible flyweights that A1 Combat has to present. Of course, the main event tonight will be a flyweight bout.
Oof.
Not to mention our feature bout with Terrence Saturn and Miguel Ceja.
Great job from Solhanek to be controlling the center here. This is where he needs to be. You know, obviously he doesn't want to be getting backed up to the cage, allowing Skiback to engage in those wrestling positions. Beautiful shot there from Skiback. Great job from Solhanek to sprawl, turning around to take the back. Honestly, I'd like to see him break here and get back up and control that center, because he is landing some damaging strikes here.
Well, Solhanek.
Too high, slipped off. Omoplata attempt perhaps from Solhanek. Great fight IQ from Skiback there, following the hips, staying calm. And unfortunately, I think it's like kind of like we discussed in the earlier fight, you know, jumping on those positions when perhaps you should stay on the feet, kind of moving into your opponent's area of strength.
It appeared to be that Solhanek expected the single leg takedown coming in, but now
beautiful job.
Tremendous by both of these athletes here.
Yeah, beautiful job from Solhanek there to get on top. Head position here against the cage. I'm very impressed, you know, like I said, I'm not writing off his grappling at all. I do think he landed a lot more damage on the feet, so I just think he needs to be a bit knowledgeable. You know, Skiback's doing a great job of threatening with those submissions. But beautiful job from both guys here. We're seeing some amazing grappling rounds early on in this fight card.
Certainly have. Oh, wait a minute now. Solhanek, can he
Crucifix
lock
position.
it in? Ooh, it's difficult to see if he has. Can he get the full grip? It appears that he might.
Okay, Skiback doing a great job staying calm in that position, getting out of the crucifix, defending the neck, turning back in to get on that single leg. Very smart from both guys here. I'm very impressed.
That was
in
great.
on that guillotine for Solhanek.
Great composure there by Skiback, being able to work his way out of the rear naked, but now Solhanek continuing the attack. Certainly appears like he's...
I think we're in on this one.
Oh, that's tight.
Yep.
That guillotine is tight.
Angle's a little bit off. Great job from Solhanek there to abandon that guillotine and come back to a controlling position instead of allowing Skiback to get back on top.
Solhanek is very evasive. Halfway in through the second round. All three preliminary fights have been non-stop action. Solhanek and Skiback. Oh, what a right hand.
Great job from both guys there. Skiback threatening a triangle. Solhanek did a great job staying composed, defended it, and came back down firing with a brutal elbow. I'm loving the exchanges here tonight.
Both fighters back to their feet. You're seeing a non-stop motor from both Solhanek and Skiback.
Yeah, and you know, Skiback's starting to wear it a little bit more now. You know, those shots are a little bit tired. They're starting to slow down, and I feel like Solhanek's starting to gain in confidence here. You know, we're seeing a very different kind of trajectory for both guys. Solhanek's controlling these grappling exchanges now, and he's landing heavy shots on the feet. So I think we need to see a switch up from Skiback here, trying to get back on top. But he's doing a great job of threatening these submissions and giving Solhanek something to think about constantly so that he can't land too much damage.
Solhanek. Great transition.
Beautiful job from Skiback here, threatening a submission, using it to sweep and get on top. And this is where he needs to be. You know, he did a great job of controlling on top in the first round. Beautiful back take. Just as we saw in the first round. This is like clearly a position that he's comfortable in. Great job getting that body triangle, perks of those long legs. But yeah, no,
But Solhanek showing impressive strength, though, every time Skibek does have the back. Final 45 seconds of the first round, or second round, I should say. Wait a minute.
He's across the face, but that does not mean that he cannot finish it. That's in, that's under. 36 seconds, can he finish it here tonight?
Can Solhanek break the grip?
Great job from Solhanek here. He's trying to stay calm, he's fighting those hands. And this is deep from Skibek.
20 seconds left. Can Solhanek survive? And it appears that he is going to.
Beautiful job from Solhanek that has stayed composed. You know, many people would have panicked in those positions. That was a deep choke. And, you know, that's going to be a bit disheartening for Houston, too, because he had that sunk in and, you know, he gave it his all, and Solhanek managed to get out. But amazing grappling exchanges from both guys here tonight. Very impressed with both of these debut
Whether you're an avid
fighters.
fitness enthusiast or just want to keep your snacking in check, Tuna Protein Popcorn tastes amazing and is great for you. With 10 grams of
tremendous poise from both Skibek and Solhanek, as you see right here. When Skibek was able to get out of the rear naked, and then this was the moment where it appeared that Solhanek only had seconds left, but once again, like you said, maintained composure and was able to fight his way out.
Yeah, that was a deep submission, so hats off to Solhanek for being able to stay composed, to fight the hands and get out. Many people would have panicked and maybe even tapped in that position, but you know, it just goes to show the heart of both of these guys. They're relentless, they're both pressuring. There is no quitting either of these guys, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it go into a decision here tonight.
And if it does go to a decision, that is going to be a very difficult decision for the judges. I mean, who would you say between these? Now, round one, I know you said probably.
Round one, honestly, too close for comfort.
Okay.
Second round, I'm gonna go with Solhanek.
Yeah.
So I think right now, we could be 1-on-1. We could be 2 to Solhanek. So I'd like to see Houston put a stamp on it.
Yeah, Solhanek has the heavy strike advantage, but Skibek has been tremendous with the grappling, maybe a little more control time overall. As the third and final round is underway, our third and final preliminary bout tonight, and Solhanek trying to dictate the pace here.
Those combos from Solhanek, they're landing every time. He's got his range down. You know, there's a little bit of feeling out at the start of the first round, but he has found his range and he's right on the money. Beautiful job from Skibek to force that takedown. I definitely think that's the strategy that we need coming into this third round. You know, a little bit of control earlier in this round to put a full stamp on it, as opposed to towards the end of the rounds like we saw in the latter two.
Nice pass there by Skibek to get himself into side control. That was probably the most impressive takedown we've seen from Skibek so far.
Yeah, and I'm sure his corner pressed urgency. Like you said, he's done some amazing things in this fight. I just think maybe the rounds have left a little bit too close for comfort. You know, he's done a great job of taking the back towards the end. You know, maybe with some judges that seals the deal, maybe not. You know, I like to err on the side of caution, so I'm sure his corner team are pressing urgency right now.
Like you said, Corey, 3 submission victories in the 7 amateur wins by Skibek, and certainly looking for one right now.
Now he has 3.5 minutes to work this position. You know, we've seen that this is a problematic position for Solhanek here. He's been struggling to get out of the back position. You know, he's been controlled for the end of the last 2 rounds, and now Skibek has 3.5 minutes to work. That's nearly a full round. So let's see if he can do anything with it this time. He had it near finish last time.
And if you're Solhanek, you really want to get this fight back to the feet. I mean, if you're trading strikes, it's been Solhanek this entire time.
Yeah, definitely. I've been very impressed with the striking of Solhanek, but also with the composure and the grappling exchange of Skibek. You know, both guys have shown like a truly well-rounded mixed martial arts game here tonight.
Solhanek training with Ant Dogs MMA and Gilroy. Skibek trained for life and Nobody MMA. Also training partners with Terrence Saturn, who we will see on the main card. Actually went to high school together, and Skibek credits Saturn as teaching him so much leading up to this professional debut, as we are just about halfway through this third and final round. Skibek was actually a freshman in high school when Saturn was a senior.
Great job from Skibek that he's landing strikes in this position. He's not just hunting the submission. That causes Solhanek to have to defend and have to kind of like have more to think about, which can open up those submission opportunities, but it's also scoring on the judges' cards. You know, yeah, like this is definitely a round for Skibek so far, but so, you know, I think we could be seeing a judge's decision.
He's had the back for essentially the entire 3 minutes of this round, just about. Sohanek struggling to evade.
Solanek's doing a great job of trying to clear those hands. Fight over, yeah, perfect, fighting over to that lock side, but Skibek is very strong in this position. You know, he's doing a great job of controlling. I think that might be, it's across the jaw, but that might be in.
Sohanek once again trying to break.
1.5 minutes here to work on this position.
And to your credit, Corey, like you said, Skibek may realize he needs to score a definitive victory here in this third round because of the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, like I said, first round was close. Second round, I would have given it to Sohanek personally. And then third round's probably heading Skibek's way. So we could either be seeing a judge's scorecards coming down to the first, or Skibek has a minute left to work in this position, and he is wearing Sohanek down. Sohanek's doing everything in his power. He's doing everything right fundamentally, but he's just struggling to fight this body triangle right here.
The exhaustion certainly setting in. What an effort from both Sohanek and Skibek. Final 45 seconds.
This has been one of those relentless fights, non-stop pressure. Even in this position, you know, there's pressure. Both guys are trying to strike. Both guys are moving. This has been a non-stop, fast-paced fight, and I'm very impressed with both of these guys.
And for those of us, like myself and like many people watching at home who have no clue, how difficult is it to fight at this pace through 15 minutes?
Yeah, obviously everyone's coming in here prepared to the best of their ability. I do feel like everybody should be able to push a hard pace for all 3 rounds, providing that you've checked all the boxes in camp. But it's always easier said than done. Like this is brutal. It's relentless, and this grappling pace, it's grinding. You're carrying someone else's whole weight whilst giving max effort. It's truly hats off to both these guys. I am very impressed with them here tonight.
We have come to the end of an incredible 3-round contest. Houston Skibek in control time for essentially the entire third round. This is going to be a very difficult decision for the judges. Alan Sohanek really had incredible striking on display, but in that third round, it was Skibek on Sohanek's back just about the entire time. As we go back and check out some of the highlights of this fight, I mean, Corey, it was nonstop. It was a beautiful blend of striking from Sohanek and grappling from Skibek.
Yeah, as I've said multiple times, very impressed with these guys here tonight. This was an incredible fight from the matchmakers. Honestly, this is one of those fights where, like, both guys, I said it in the last fight, both guys can hold their head high. You know, and this is definitely one of those ones where the crowd wins, you know. I was very impressed, very excited for this whole fight. Dominant striking from Sohanek, beautiful grappling exchanges from Skibek, and yeah, I'm really excited to see where these guys' career goes.
All 3 fights in the prelims certainly setting an amazing tone for A1 Combat 17, going live on UFC Fight Pass, 7 p.m. Pacific. We'll be joined by the legend himself, Uriah Faber, as well. But for now, we await the decision from the judges in this flyweight contest. Alan Sohanek coming in 5-1 as an amateur, making his pro debut. Houston Skibek undefeated as an amateur, 7-0 with 3 submission victories. What a moment it's been. What an effort it's been for both of these fighters as we await the final decision.
Yeah, I think it's very much going to come down to that first round. And here comes Garrett with the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action-packed action, here in our final prelim at A1 Combat 17, we go to your 3 judges at cage side for the decision. Your first judge, Elliot Kelly, scores the contest 29-28, while judges Wade Vieira and Mike Bentron see it 30-27, all for your winner by unanimous decision, Houston, the Problem Skibek.
Great performance there from both guys. As I said, you know, at the end of that first round, Skibek did a great job of controlling the positions, and it was a very dominant finish for him on the back. So like I said, depends on what the judges are looking at. I think it's one of those ones where, like, I wouldn't have really argued it either way. I was very impressed with both guys, and yeah, I think both guys can be very happy with their performance here tonight.
Absolutely. Tremendous effort by Sohanik. He proved himself to be a very, very dangerous striker. But Houston Skibeck, you want to talk about composure and poise and finding a way to get control of the fight, to dictate the pace. And he has his first win as a professional fighter. Congratulations to Houston Skibeck and everybody at Train for Life and Nobody MMA. Well, Corey, that does it for the prelims. I know you're going to be very busy for the first fight on the main card, but I know you'll be joining us throughout the rest of the night. But let's run down the 3 prelim fights. We had Steve Mora, victory via submission in the first fight of the night. We had Kelly McKay with a dominant performance over Jessica Link in the second fight, and we just saw Houston Skibeck with a unanimous
All right,
decision
fight
victory.
fans, we will be back with our main
great
card.
action here in the prelims.
Yeah, what a way to kick off the card here tonight. You know, I'm so excited to see how the rest of the night plays out. I've been so impressed with these last 3 fights.
And we will be kicking off the main card with Arnold Jimenez and Hector Fajardo. Do not go anywhere, but change the channel to UFC Fight Pass. We're going live at 7 p.m. Pacific for A1 Combat 17.